So Dale, stay away from my family. Stay away from my mom. Because I'm not going anywhere.
This does not even deserve a captain's log introduction, because this is dead serious.
How's it going, everybody? Right off the bat, I want to say happy 4th of July to all of my US viewers. We're going to be experiencing something like Cyraxx and Sally does every single day. You're going to have the fireworks in the air, the smell of sulfur, but fortunately for Sally, I don't think she's going to be cleaning up the exact same mess that she normally does for Rax, because Rax has decided he wants to get into a little bit different kind of trouble today. After his huge meltdown with his family, Cyraxx obviously decided that he's not going to deal with this. He's not going to take the lecturing the internet's going to give him because his family has already forgiven him. Why would he take your guys' crap when Sally deals with all of his in general? It just doesn't make any sense. But just because Cyraxx's most immediate family members don't really care that he's one of the worst in the world, well, some of them actually do and want to help their mom, and they're not going to take this lying down. Oh no, they're going to stand on their 2 feet, put the world on their shoulders just like Cyraxx isn't capable of, and tell this little guy what it is. So what does Cyraxx do? Well, of course he has one of the biggest meltdowns we've seen in a fat minute. Not bigger than his family meltdown, but it comes pretty close. And after he yells at his aunt, tells her she's disowned even though he's disowned her in the past, because if you didn't know who his aunt was, this happens all the time, just about every 4 or 5 months. She'll call Cyraxx, say, "I'm not going to let you treat our mom like this anymore." And Cyraxx proceeds to disown her, tell her that that's no longer her mom, it's his mom, and she's just going to have to deal with that. And just like a real man, after he sets his family in place, he's like, you know what? It's time to get to work. It's time to get some money in this household. I'm going to retire from one of my careers and try my hand at like 20 other ones. So yes, guys, not only has Cyraxx disowned some more of his family, Cyraxx is now...
You ain't taking me away from mom. That ain't happening. Sitting there lying through your teeth. Mom don't want nothing to do with you, and Becky don't want nothing to do with you. Nobody wants a damn thing to do with you, Daly. No one wants a damn thing to do with nothing. There's a reason why Mom and me and our aunt and uncle want nothing to do with you. You are a liar. You side with the enemy. Stay away from my aunt, my uncle, everybody in my family. Stay away from us. We want nothing to do with you. Stay away from my family. Mom is not your mom no more. You are not my sister anymore. You are not a part of our family. You want what Mom's trying to give to me. That's all it is. Do not come near me, near my mom, or my family ever again. Do not contact Mom. Do not contact me. Do not contact anybody in the family. No one wants a damn thing to do with you.
So if you guys watched my video on Cyraxx last week, maybe like a week and a half ago, you guys would know that Cyraxx, Sally, and Ed all got into a huge altercation, and it was one of the worst meltdowns we had ever seen by the entire family. So through that, it ends up that Sally ended up hurting her toe a little bit. So Cyraxx's aunt has said, you know what, enough is enough. I mean, this has happened before, so I guess enough is enough for the second time, but who cares? She has decided she was going to put her foot down, and she was going to try her best to get Cyraxx out of there. Well, of course, Sally sides with Cyraxx, or at least she sided with them enough where Cyraxx is still there and gave Cyraxx enough confidence to be able to get on the internet. And we all know that Sally and Ed probably said none of this, but they gave Cyraxx just enough of a go where this is how he's feeling. Like, yeah, she's not allowed in the house anymore. She's disowned by the entire family. And could you imagine getting into a small little argument with your cousin? Because isn't that what basically Cyraxx Cyraxx is to her, she gets into an argument with her cousin, and then she loses the entire family. The entire family doesn't even like Cyraxx that much. I guarantee you that Sally is on the phone with her today, maybe tomorrow. She's not even that upset. She's just like, yeah, you know, just let Cyraxx cool down a little bit. Everything will blow over, you know it. It'll be all cool. And the craziest part about this entire situation, guys, is that Cyraxx caused every single bit of it. If like anything was to happen, if anyone was to get disowned by the family, it would probably be you, the person who has caused this entire event to unfold. If you wasn't screaming at 3 in the morning or yelling at your grandma and Ed and trying to get into an altercation with Ed, this would have never happened. You would have been just fine. You would have been, I don't know if you'd have been just fine, but to even pretend this is somehow your aunt's fault and not yours is just Cyraxx levels of delusion.
Going on the internet and talking to all these fake people underneath a fucking fake ass avatar out over on IMVU. And that's what you do, right? That's what you do, right, Dalen? You sit there and hang out on IMVU. Well, let's do it like this, alright? So, you sit there and say that I hated Baz as a kid. That's false. I'm the mother that'll jump in a hot bath and not get out for about 3 or 4 hours, first off. And you wonder why you're not allowed around here anymore. There's a reason. You are not allowed around our house anymore. And that ain't me saying it. That's Mom saying that shit. You are not allowed around our house anymore. That whole thing about, oh, he didn't have any friends in jail. You weren't there. How would you know? You don't know shit about me. Oh yeah, sure, you know some shit. You like to think you do, but you don't. Cause see, when I went to jail, I got linked up with a friend of mine from motherfucking high school. Hey, you think they're like, oh, hey, he can't watch his mouth. The only reason why my aunt, why you did not know about my aunt being here is because she did not want you to know. So Dale, you want to try to take me from Mom and Ed? Because you ain't got no proof that I'm doing shit. You ain't got no proof that I even did anything to Mom or Ed. So how you gonna try to have me taken from them when I ain't doing shit? And I have no problem releasing a diss track on your face. And you wonder why our family don't want nothing to do with your ass. And you know what I'm thinking about doing, Dalen? I'm thinking about hopping on now. You know what? I think what I'm going to do whenever I get my new setup, you know what I'm going to do? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a brand new IMVU account. I'm going to find out who you are on there. Then I'm going to find out your entire friends list. And then you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go through your friends list and let all your little friends know. I'm going to show them every interview that you've done. Show them how you bashed on Mom, how you bashed on me. Okay, all I gotta do is go through your friends list and drop a diss track.
I think it's so funny that the first two things that Cyraxx decides to defend about himself from his aunt is the fact that he doesn't bath. And you know, it's really hard to prove that when, as you guys are about to see through the next couple of clips throughout the days, 3 or 4 days have passed and Cyraxx is wearing the same outfit, so it gets a little hard to prove at that point that he doesn't bath, and when he does, he takes about a 3 or 4 hour bath, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, and I think you guys know this as well, that's far too long. You shouldn't be in a pool for 3 or 4 hours. It's just not something you should do, so even if he is bathing, he's still doing it wrong somehow. There's not many ways to do it wrong, but Cyraxx has managed to accomplish that. And another thing you should never have to defend, because why should you, is the fact that you had friends in jail. The thing about jail is you should just keep your head down. Maybe you have a few people that you talk to, but don't get into too much and just get through with your time, especially if you have as short of a sentence as Cyraxx did. It was like, I think he got bailed out in a day, so I wouldn't expect you to have friends, but why would you even defend it? He's like, yeah, I found a guy in high school that knew me, that helped me throughout the night. It's like, okay, you could have just sit in a corner and people just wondered what you did. You probably didn't even have to speak. Now, obviously, I don't know what the system is like down there, but, you know, it could be a little rough. It could be, so maybe Cyraxx did have to get checked. Maybe something had to happen there where he had to show his paperwork, and if you saw the paperwork, you would be questioning him a little bit more. It wasn't very good, but it's not like any of it mattered. He went home to the person who bailed him out, Sally, and he's continued to stay there ever since, and almost did the same exact thing that earned him a spot in jail the first time, which was probably the reason his aunt was talking about it in the first place. Getting into an altercation because your mom, your grandma, whichever you want to refer to her as, decided she wants to sleep that night. And it's like, hey, can you just keep it down a little bit? And you're like, hey, you're embarrassing me. It's not like every single thing I do, like almost 90% of my actions embarrass me just a little bit on the internet. But you knocking on my door, that's the straw on the camel's back. You have completely destroyed my reputation now. So I will proceed to do the worst thing I've done in about 2 months. It's Cyraxx time, and embarrass myself even more, even leading to you saying you want to embarrass me in front of the camera. It was one of the most chaotic things in the Cyraxx verse in a fat minute. And Big T just happened where Ed was defending him tooth and nail. Even caught some of Big T's wrath himself and didn't even question it. Defended Cyraxx until the end. And this is how Cyraxx repays them back. And the best thing about this all is that Cyraxx is 35 years old. Say, you're not going to take me away from mom and dad. You're just not going to do it. They can't do this without me. They would be doing so much better.
You want to know where all that shit that was supposed to go to you is going to go to? It's going to get split up between me and the rest of the family. And if you think I'm going to be homeless, think again. It ain't going to happen. You turned your back on our family. We did not turn on you. You turned on us. But just know this, Dalen. You will fail. Because of your actions, you are now considered a troll. And guess what? I never lose. I always win. What you don't realize, I'm a rock star, okay? I have more pull than you can ever hope to have. My name is known worldwide. Unlike you, I can actually see my floor. See, look, a floor. Something that you can't see when we walk into your house. Nobody can see your floor when we walk into your house. But yet, look, floor, carpet. Look, actual room. Look, actual room. I have room in my bedroom, unlike you.
So I almost forgot to mention the fact that Cyraxx is going to rap battle his aunt over this beef. What will that do about anything except just make things worse? You're going to say the most disrespectful things you can possibly think of, and it's not like Cyraxx hasn't already done that, but I don't know. I'm just thinking, you know, if she's not a musician or another rapper, or this will like lead you to no progress in your career, why would you rap battle anybody? It just doesn't make a lot of sense, especially your aunt. Like, there's no gain in this, there's only lose. And speaking of losing, I don't know about you guys, but you know, if I'm like 60 or 50 or something, and I hear like my grandchild or my son or whatever, like bragging about how he's gonna get stuff from me when I'm gone, I'm going to instantly reconsider what I'm giving this dude, because I'm like, well, apparently this guy only wants me around or going to keep me around and talk to me because I'm going to give him something that he's not going to work for himself. He instantly loses the house. Like, I don't trust him for that anymore. So, Cyraxx, you bragging about this on the internet isn't a good look. Like, now I know it's Sally and not a thing's going to change, but could you guys actually imagine Cyraxx having access to that house? There's no way in the world Cyraxx will be responsible enough to take care of it. Like, someone else would have to be around, so more than likely, it's not even going to him in the first place. It's most likely Sally just telling him that, so he'll leave her alone. Like, yes, Cyraxx, the house is going to you now. please turn the music down. It's 4 in the morning. Stop screaming all night. And the next thing we have to speak on, now I know, Cyraxx definitely was planning this out for the video. Cyraxx doesn't plan a lot of things out, but he thought this one through. He cleaned his room up a good bit so he could flex on his aunt. Like, yeah, you know, your house that none of us know any proof of. So Cyraxx could just be making it up. But he's like, yeah, you know your house? Well, guess what? Guess what? It's not clean as mine. Look at my room. I can walk around my room. Now, we could take this time to call Cyraxx out. Say, yeah, you definitely cleaned that up right before you got there. But I'm just going to say this. Nova Online, since Nova is probably watching, how could you, Nova? How could you let Cyraxx clean his room better than you? Like, you look at that floor. Cyraxx has got a lot of space to maneuver around. It's like Step Brothers. There's so much room for activities. No wonder he's starting so many different careers. And Nova, through spite, Cyraxx has become cleaner than you. I mean, there hasn't been a gas station shower review in a fat minute. What are you doing? How could you? You're just sitting at the bar all day, and instead you're letting Cyraxx outwork you. And this is just absolutely ridiculous.
And if you truly want to get your life back, reinvent yourself. Reinvent yourself so much that they cannot recognize you. That they cannot categorize you. If you sit there and you don't do anything with your life, and you continue to ponder on what they're going to do next, you're never going to get anywhere. Because they will have defeated you, and then where will you be 10 years down the road? Which is why I am here to say this. To anybody out there that thinks they are going to bring me down, like, that's not going to happen. Because each time I came back was me reinventing myself and preparing myself for each moment. Because right now, I have a lot going for me behind the scenes that nobody knows about yet, except for a very, 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 very select few people. There's a very few select people that know about what's going on.
So after burning the bridge with his aunt and damming up the river just to be sure nothing ever comes out of this relationship, Cyraxx decides he's now got to switch gears. He can no longer be a music artist. I want you guys to realize just how bad this bridge he burnt is. His aunt was supposed to take care of him after Sally was gone. This was Cyraxx's one ticket out of homelessness, but he absolutely ruined that. Not this year, not with this freak out, but the last time he had an absolute meltdown over Sally. And this one just kind of like cemented it. Maybe there could have been like some mending of the relationship, but I don't think it's happening anymore. And after realizing he's 34 years old and music isn't really going anywhere, it's a young man's game, Cyraxx, he's like, I gotta change things up. I've gotta switch my careers to something that's more suitable for something my age. I've gotta become an esports gamer. I'm gonna be a pro gamer now, or I'm going to be an artist, because everyone who does art instantly is successful. It's not like music is a far more profitable thing in this world, and it's not like music isn't incredibly hard to get into and make a profit off of in general as well. But now I'm going to become an artist or an esports gamer, even though every pro gamer is already retired by the age of Cyraxx. But you know what? It's a good career choice.
But like I said, man, before I ever blew up on YouTube, before I was famous, before any of that shit ever happened, I used to run my own clothing line. I would have, anime-based merch for friends and family. I always did, custom stuff for a few people that I was really close with. So, I'm really trying to get back into that. I'm really trying to get back into my artwork and back into selling clothing and doing that whole thing, because for me, that's fun. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy doing music, but for me, my artwork, it allows me to express myself in ways that my music doesn't really allow. But I can do more visually with artwork and with clothing and stuff like that. I can really bring that, what I'm thinking in my head to life. Like I said, I re-upped my gothic anime clothing brand after about 10 plus years. which is a private clothing brand that I share privately. I don't post it publicly. So, like, I'm all about that shit. You know, I love, doing artwork, especially dark artistry. Like, a lot of people don't realize, but I am a horror artist. I love doing night, stuff that fuels nightmares, stuff that makes people think. I like to make artwork that makes people step back and makes them think. Like, one of my latest pieces that I haven't released yet is basically me calling out society as a whole about how in your face a lot of people in society will smile, but then behind your back they are evil. Like, I don't see the point in battle rapping. I really don't. Like, why do a rap battle when you can put out a song that has meaning? Why waste your time on a battle that's not going to do you any good? There's no point. Why do you think I quit doing battle raps? Because to me, they're stupid. I don't see any logical gain from doing rap battles. I really don't see the gain in that. Yeah, so what? You win against this guy. That don't mean you're gonna be a super famous artist. That just means you won a battle.
I'm starting to think that Cyraxx got in trouble for the same exact thing that him, Sally, and Ed got into an altercation about just a couple of weeks ago, or I guess a week and a half ago, where he, was screaming in the middle of the night. Maybe it was off live stream. He was just doing a vocal concert to himself. Cyraxx doesn't mind and nobody's watching. Something similar happened, and it might have broke through to him that, hey, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Or maybe Sally just finally offered him an Xbox if he just bees quiet for the nighttime. And that's how you get Cyraxx's attention. He's like, you know what? That's a good offer right there. I will be quiet. I'm going to be an artist now, Mom. Thank you so much for switching my career path. And Sally's like, thank goodness I bought myself a few nights. Do I really have to buy him the Xbox? I probably do. Dang it. But in the meantime, instead of stealing other people's music, Cyraxx is now going to steal other people's art, his other main profession. And Cyraxx, you're definitely a horror artist. It doesn't matter if you're doing art. I guarantee you plenty of people have had nightmares about your actions in the past, and it'll probably keep up. You don't even have to put a pen to paper and steal someone else's art, You do good enough as is. And trust me, you leave many lasting impressions. You do that all the time, so I don't even really think you have to do it. But you know what? Go ahead. Let's see what Cyraxx can conjure up. You know what, guys? It's really good that he decided to stop doing music because, I don't think his aunt could have taken what Cyraxx was about to give. He was about to drop the diss track, but he was like, I just can't do this to my family. I'm a family man. I'm giving up music for my family. I just can't do this to my aunt, At the end of the day, she's my aunt. She's my sister, Gotta show her some respect. I can't drop this brutal diss track. She might have been like Drake to Kendrick Lamar. It might have been a It's Not Like Us all over again. But in all seriousness, how, literally, a day ago, are you threatening to battle rap your sister or your aunt, whatever you want to refer to her as, and then later, what would a battle rap do for me? Battle rapping is ridiculous now that you think of it. What do I gain from that? I'm not going to become a successful artist off that, and, let's chill out. Kendrick Lamar became the biggest artist in the world. I think he still is. So, Cyraxx, you gotta think about that and, look at Nas and Jay-Z. Nas's career was really in the pits there for a minute, but he dissed Jay-Z and he got a nice album off of it. I heard he drank too much Henny and squandered it, but you know what? Nas is still a GOAT. And then there's Eminem and the Machine Gun Kelly. Eminem revived his career a little bit with the Machine Gun Kelly diss. You just can't knock rap battles, right? There's some profit off of them. Unless Cyraxx got a snippet of his aunt's diss track and it was too much to handle. Maybe that's why he switched careers. Only time will tell. I hope it's the latter now that I think of it. That's far funnier. Or just a good combination of both theories.
I'm at that point where I'm not about the fame. Like, I honestly, I hate the spotlight. I really do. When I'm behind that wheel and I'm doing my thing, it's like everything else just zones out. Like, I zone out and nothing else matters. Like, I'm fully focused, I'm fully locked in, and honestly, dude, I miss it. I miss being behind the wheel. I miss being competitive and having fun. Like, I really do. I truly miss it, because there's a difference between doing music and being behind the wheel and doing what I love most. Like, I would rather be in a garage wrenching away at a car than I would be on stage traveling around and doing this, doing that. Like, dude, if I'm going to travel around, I want it to be on my terms. I don't want it to be on, like, some record label's terms and be like, oh, well, we want you to travel here and be here at this date. No, f that. Like, if I'm going to travel somewhere, I want it to be on my terms. Like, don't get me wrong, Lamborghinis and hypercars and supercars, beautiful cars. I'm not hating. I love me a good cruise in a Lambo on Forza Horizon 5. I love me a good cruise with a Lambo. Like, I love a nice cruise and chill with a Lambo with my friends. Love it. But for me, I would rather cruise around in an old school fastback Mustang that if something goes on, like if it breaks down, I got the tools right there in the car, or I got the tools in my garage, I can pull it in to the garage and I can crank away at it until it's fixed. And that's why I enjoy games like Fortnite. I love playing Fortnite, man. Like, that's my shit right there. Like, I enjoy a good game of Fortnite. I enjoy a good game of COD. Definitely enjoy a good game of COD. I love doing GTA 5 missions in first person mode, because you have to have a certain degree of tacticalness in order to get shit done. You kind of have to be tactical with certain missions, which I love. So yeah, in a way, I kind of feel like a lot of what I learned as a kid kind of, carried over. Plus, there's no real money in doing paintballing. Like, there's no real competitions out there for that. Like, there is, but it's not as big. Like, you get into like gaming with like Fortnite and shit, dude, you're looking at real money there. There's actual money to be made there. Especially if you're competing on a competitive level and you're doing that game on a competitive level, there is actual money to be made there. With paintball, that's just kind of phasing out.
Cyraxx is literally flip-flopping his ideals depending on what point he wants to make. Just a little bit ago, he's a rock star, and now he hates the spotlight. And honestly, out of both of the things he said, he probably hates the spotlight more than he is a rock star, because he's certainly not a rock star. But I guess not as much as he likes cruising around in Forza. And when he was first mentioning, like, yeah, I love going into the shop and working on my automobiles, I was like, Cyraxx has never done that once in his life, maybe in that auto body shop he had in class, but instantly it was confirmed that I was wrong. I didn't know what I was talking about because it was Forza. Now, in the back of my mind, I was like, he's talking about Forza. He's definitely talking about Forza, but just wait, let's have some hope. Let's see if Cyraxx mentions something entertaining. But then he just confirms it's Forza, and then proceeds to tell us all that, there's no money in paintball. No one ever has made a dime in paintball. No competitions he can think of, and listen, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know anyone who's made money off competitive paintball, but I guarantee you there's a scene out there, and I guarantee you there's plenty of people who have and have made more than $163 throughout their entire career doing paintball matches. And also, it's just a fun activity that you can do outside with your friends. So why does it even matter if it could make you some money at the end of the day? It can just be a nice hobby, and you could still do your music, your art on the side, just go on the weekends and hang out with your friends. And in general, when you're 30-something years old, I bet paintball would be far more profitable to you if you was like trying to compete that way than esports. Because let's be real, guys. I think, this is in my opinion, you can tell me if I'm wrong in the comment section, that as soon as an esport starts, like when a game is starting to slowly pick up on that scene, you have an X amount of time before you have almost zero chance. You've got to be into the meta right away and learning along with everybody. There's a certain point where you can no longer catch up. I remember when Fortnite first came out. I'm talking like legit, like within a week, me and my cousin found it and we was playing it on his PlayStation 4 and we was like, hey, this is pretty cool. We didn't think much of it at the time. But as soon as the building went crazy, there was just no way in the world that I was going to be able to play Fortnite on any sort of level. And also, I wasn't that interested in it. I didn't like Fortnite that much in general in the beginning, and I certainly don't like it now. I probably won like 1 or 2 games of it, maybe played it 20, 30 rounds in general. But I guess that's enough for me today, guys. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, follow the socials down below, and I'll catch you guys next time.